What's good, man? It's your boy Juicy J, man. Shout out to Virtual Homework Podcast.
What's everyone?
What even is that? What's everyone?
What's
2021.
Everyone? Yeah, 2021, new year, way worse podcast, apparently.
New year,
starting off,
new us.
Yeah, new us. Apparently, I no longer am able to speak English.
Yeah, we're just going to get more incoherent as time goes on.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep slamming my head against this desk until eventually it's honestly sad to listen to. But at the same time, I can't transition out of that. Help me.
Theme song.
What's good, man? It's your boy.
Not really.
I'll do it. I'll do it for half a second. What's the deal?
What's the deal? Every episode we have to say what's the deal. We should have like a segment called What's the Deal, and then we just talk about something.
We talk about the deal. We talk about like a item that was $20 and now it's $18 on Super Sale.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of deal, I feel like we got a decent deal on this week's game.
Jesus, what a forced transition. But we're doing it. Yeah, actually, we got Wattam. Wattam. I think it's
Wattam.
Yeah, okay, yeah, there is an actual dope theme song of this game. But no, we got it for $10 instead of $20. This is a game by the creator of Katamari and Nobi Boy. If you play those other games and you didn't realize that just from the style, then you'd actually have to be an insane person. It has a very similar style to those previous two games.
Style, feel.
And it was released to audiences last year on the Epic Game Store and PS4, but finally came to Steam a week or two ago. Actually,
so that's probably why I haven't heard of it, because I looked on the thing, it said it was released like the 26th of like last month or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was released the 18th of December, so actually about 2 weeks at this point, but it was a week when we actually started playing this podcast. I'm not sure, have you played the Katamari series in general or Nobi Boy?
I have not played any of them. I've seen a lot of footage, but I've never played them.
I feel like this is not a game you would play if this was your first experience with the game's creator, but...
Well, I'm familiar with them. Like, I'm familiar enough with those games. Like, I've seen people play hours of it. Like, I know how it works. Like, I know, like, the characters and stuff like that.
Okay. I think you're going to probably have a little bit more of a unique perspective on this game versus other games. So let's actually get into what this game is. So, Wattam, it's a relatively new... You're going to do that every single time I say Wattam?
Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't do it that time. There we go. You already got pumped.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, Wattam is it's really hard to describe, actually. I'm going to call this a sandbox game.
I think it's a puzzle game. It's a light, casual puzzle game, I feel.
It's a casual game, if by casual I mean literally for babies video game.
Yes.
For babies, by babies.
Yeah, pretty much. That there's really zero difficulty curve. It's a cute game. It's an interesting game. It has an insane amount of flaws, but why don't you go into like what the gameplay is?
It's actually incredibly hard to describe. So
you like basically move like these little people around. Like I guess like your world got exploded, and you're like one guy, the mayor, and you're trying to like rebuild the world or whatever. So you go to the different like areas. And like little guys come out if you do certain tasks. It might be like an acorn or like a left testicle, someone's nose.
A left testicle, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's like that's essentially what the fuck is coming out. It might be like a banana or like some popcorn or something like that. And then what you can do is you can use the acorns to just make trees, and then you can combine some of the guys to kind of get like different effects to do different things. To do puzzles and stuff like that, which is actually a really cool concept. Like, for example, like a nose needs to smell a onion to start crying or something like that. So you turn one of the guys into like an onion to get like an island to cry and fill up the ocean or something like that.
Yeah, this is basically a sandbox environment that needs puzzle elements to like excuse itself being more than just like some random experiment by the game's creator. You have over 100 of these individual characters. Some of them don't do anything. Some of them you could just walk around, but some of them have special features like a mouth or a nose or some random other body part, or literally a toilet where you could flush other things. And you have to use these abilities to progress the story, which is very, very serious. When you're playing this game initially, it's like a massive tonal shift because you think this is going to be like an actual like epic game. in the way
absolutely.
that like the opening cutscene literally is like so similar to the Wind Waker opening cutscene. I'm not sure if you played.
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're literally at points in this game, your mouth like eating things and pooping them out, and everything turns into poop, and then you can flush it down the toilet, and it turns into like golden poop. Like, and then it's like super serious immediately after that.
Yeah, the cutscene's like, then the world was destroyed, and we were left with nothing except our will to move on. And it's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is the weirdest game ever. And I was actually a little bit worried when I was playing this game because we've had experiences before where you have played a game and it's like, oh, this is a little too wholesome for me, and because of that, I'm not really into it.
Well, so like wholesome is it when I say it's like forced, like I love you, like that kind of, you know what I mean? Like this is more like general
happiness. Everyone's having fun.
Yeah, it's like general whimsicality, which I think is like a different concept altogether.
Okay.
I don't think this game is honestly the greatest thing in the world, though.
Yeah, I think it was worth $10 is what we paid for it.
Yeah.
And even $20 is not really that bad of a game. In fact, I really enjoyed my time with this game, mainly due to its uniqueness factor and like the fact that like it's both legitimately funny. There are multiple times where I laughed out loud.
Oh, dude, I laughed out loud when he turned into the detective. Like I was actually like laughing so fucking hard. Spoiler alert.
What even is that spoiler? When he turns into the detective?
yeah. It is things like that. But I mean, I feel like this game has a shit ton of flaws, though. Like
it's broken.
The controls are fucking terrible. Some of the worst controls I've ever played in a game. Like the objectives are literally bring one guy to another place. That's like 99% of objectives, or like climb on top of this thing. Or to do a circle around a thing. Like those are literally like the objectives that you kind of just do for an hour and a half, and then you beat the game.
Yeah, I feel the gameplay itself is very simplistic, and it's again kind of the whole plot is an excuse to have this weird ass sandbox. But I think the main issue with this game is it's just straight up broken. I'm not sure. Did you have a lot of like literal like game breaking bugs when you played this game?
I didn't have a single one.
Okay, yeah, and I was playing this with my friend because we don't like playing games co-op even if they're co-op because we want a completely blind experience going to this podcast. But we have a mutual friend that we've mentioned on this podcast before, Nino, and I played this game about 50-50 myself. Actually, I beat this entire game myself, but I also beat the entire game with my friend because there was a co-op mode where you could like both be in there.
Wait, there's a co-op mode in this?
Yeah. So we actually played through Steam Remote Play. So your Steam Remote Play is a kind of okay feature where if you have one person has a copy of the game, you're actually able to play with someone else, even if the game doesn't have online multiplayer, just like through some like streaming ability on Steam. It was kind of clunky. It was definitely like laggy and stuff, but the co-op mode is very similar to the single player mode. You just get to basically play with a friend and is a little bit more chaotic because you have two people going around. But on his machine, it was perfectly fine. There were absolutely no game breaking glitches. I don't know if like having newer hardware, because I would consider myself with a pretty beefy rig. I had so many issues actually just getting this game to run. There were like certain literal like completely game breaking bugs where the file would not progress. Reloading the file, it would not progress. It would not load a cutscene, and I would either have to completely restart or like do some really weird stuff. The ending itself,
I literally had none of these issues at all whatsoever. Like it was flawless from start to finish. Like ability to do everything. Like I know you mentioned like the game breaking bug with the lighthouse. Like I didn't experience that at all.
Yeah, and our mutual friend Nino didn't as well when I was playing with him. I mean, I looked on the forums and like
you have a better computer than me though, so I'm not sure if it's hardware based.
No, I think it's hardware based in that like it's not meant to run on very, very new machines because this is really a PS4 game first and foremost. It's definitely a PS4 game first and foremost, considering the main character of this game. Basically, every single time you move to a new season, that's what they call levels in this game. You have the square, circle, X, and triangle characters, and that makes up the PlayStation
that makes a lot of
controller.
sense. Well, Katamari Damacy was originally a PlayStation game, so it makes sense they would kind of keep in that like soft universe.
Yeah. But yeah, like the worst was actually, did you beat this game?
Yeah.
So I beat this game as well, but there is a massively terrible glitch that's facing a lot of the PC audience. Like you go on the forums, more than me is just experiencing this. But you will beat the game, it'll go through the credits, immediately crash, and then not say you beat the game. So you have to keep. I had to beat the game and just load the credits like 5 or 6 times before it actually like saved my progress.
At all for me. I was able to beat the credits, then do like the post game stuff to find out like the secret characters, which we're not going to spoil.
Yeah, I have kind of 100% of this game, in that I actually have 100% of this game. However, Steam will not record the progress on my my achievements, so it does not say 100% of it.
You know, I didn't bother 100% of it because there's like a lot of things that's like eat 100 people, poop out 100 people, and stuff like that. But I mean, this game's a hard like 6 out of 10 for me. Like, it's cool, it's super cute. If I had like a girlfriend or something, or if I had kids, I think that I'd enjoy this significantly more. This feels like a very much a game to play with someone that doesn't like games very much, or maybe someone that's like a lot younger.
So I said baby game for babies. I mean, there's really 2 reasons. One, I think this is literally like, we're coming at this as like hardened gamers when this is in reality like probably meant for families, like as a children's game, because so simplistic. I can
appreciate it for that.
But the other thing is that there is so much fucking baby talk. You are literally playing this game and there's like literally babies coming at you from every direction. Every single character speaks in baby speak, and they speak a ton. It's insane. It's actually insane.
But there are a wide variety of different characters, which I did enjoy. I love like the different platforms. So how you get from different levels is there's like these platforms with people on them that kind of fly out you after you do like a certain objective. And then like there'll be different themed. So like one will be like a bowling alley, one will be like a table, one will be like a birthday cake, one might be a ship or something like that. And those are like, they're super cute. They have like hands and like eyes and like talk to you and stuff like that. Like, this game is extremely charming, and I typically don't go for this stuff, but I found myself smiling quite a bit through the playthrough.
So like, I'm gonna completely probably subvert expectations here and say like, this is one of my favorite games we played in the podcast. I would rate this probably a 9 out of 10. But I recognize that's like a massive bias here. I could like, this inherently to me is not a great game, but like, it's weird to say it was like a great experience despite it not being a great game. Like,
I definitely agree that. I guess you're more focused on the experience. I guess I'm more focused on gameplay a lot of the time. Like, that's what gets me to enjoy everything as kind of a complete package. But that's why I kind of think it's more like a 6 out of 10, because like the experience is very enjoyable. You know, it's not often you're smiling throughout like an entire playthrough.
Yeah, I mean, like, and this is like a solid 6 hours of like smiling playthrough, and when you get to the end, I like.
This game's like an hour and a half long. This game's short.
No, it's like a 4-hour game, like legitimately.
Really, I beat this game like super fast.
I guess I was taking my sweet ass time. How long to beat? We'll say it's about a 4-hour game.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. Maybe it did. Maybe I was,
every single time you like.
Maybe I was enjoying it so much that it took me longer, because I have like 6 hours played on the whole thing, but I was AFK for like literally hours.
Yeah, I have 10 hours played, but I was AFK for like 4 hours. But no, I was gonna say like I was just soaking in the world a lot of time. This game was not a great game, but like it was one of my most enjoyable experiences. Like, I mean, like maybe a 9 out of 10 is very not fair because of that, but like I feel like everyone, aka us three, me, you, and my friend Nina that played this game, we all had like an extremely enjoyable experience where like even certain games that are considered extremely good, like sure, you're having like a fun gameplay experience, but like you may not have like what you consider like a memorable experience. Like, this game has so much charm. There's a rock named Jeb, and that made me laugh because Jeb Bush. And
well, I feel like we play a lot of games that, like, I hate to say it like this because it's playing game, high stress games. Like, I love games where we just get to chill and like it feels very, how do I say this? Like relaxing to play something like this, you know? It's like you're enjoying yourself. You don't have like a million like missiles flying at you. You have to pay perfect attention to. It's just a bunch of little stupid ass little poop people, you know, hanging out, exploding, and, you know, dancing.
I have like, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but like I have this like test, or maybe that's not the best word, but it's the extremely shit-faced drunk test. And there are very few games where you could just come home from a night of partying, shit-faced drunk, or whatever your of choice is, and play it and enjoy it. I feel like the quintessential example I use for this is Peggle. You could be like literally about to like die of alcohol poisoning and lounge in your chair and somehow still play Peggle and get through Peggle. This game is not as high on the scale as Peggle, but it's like I could definitely imagine coming home from a party, playing this game, booting it up, and enjoying the sandbox. I mean, like, the thing is, this game has it's obviously put replay value a little bit in mind. Like, it has some pretty crazy environmental, like, if you're playing this game at night, after you, so we're spoilers, Wii U, after you beat the game, you kind of unlock like this weird background in a way where it like reflects a few things, but like one of the things it reflects is like the actual time of day. So like if you're playing this game, it'll be different at night versus the day. There's a lucky item every day, which is disappointing in that it doesn't mean anything. It's kind of just like a horoscope. But like it's one of those games where I feel like you could boot this up every 3 to 6 months and enjoy it.
This is actually my main criticism of the game is I feel it didn't do enough with the mechanics. Like, because like I was describing earlier, like you can eat like two people, and then it like comes out as like a new one. I feel like it didn't do enough to like combine like the different intricacies of like the individual people to make it interesting. Like literally every mission or puzzle was like just bring the one guy to the thing. And there'd be like one that was like, oh, combine the two things to get like this guy or whatever and stuff like that. I feel like I would have had a lot more fun with it if it really adventured with that, because I don't see myself just sitting and like doing that for fun, because you don't really get anything out of it other than, you know, seeing them dance and poop.
Like, I agree with you from a perspective of the plot, but like one of the main draws of this game is what I would like, just like not even just the music but the audio in general. First of all, there's an amazing theme song in this game that's been stuck in my head for the past week. Wattam, and like it's dope. And I played this week felt super long to me, because usually I play these games towards the end of the week, but I 100% of this game, like, so we do these podcasts on Saturday night. I 100% of this game by like Tuesday, and I'm just like, what do I do for the next 4 days? But like that song's been stuck in my head. Same with the Parappa the Rapper music has been stuck in my head.
I'm still singing Parappa the Rapper. I'm still like fucking
still disappointed the game
stop the car. Yeah, no, that I'm like I actually want to get into this. Like, I've had some retrospective on Parappa. That's probably the most disappointed I've ever been in the game, because I literally love 90% of that game, but that 10% is the gameplay that is just absolute fucking trash.
Yeah, I'm
so upsetting. I love that game. I love everything about it, but it's not fun to play.
I agree with that. I mean, at the same time, I would say this game completely subverted my expectations that I had literally zero going into this, because I had no idea what the game was. I just knew you could play as a toilet, and you got to play as a toilet.
I was kind of I just like flushing the people down and they come out as golden poops. I made a point earlier about the camera. The camera's fucking terrible.
Every single game in the Katamari universe has the worst camera imaginable. I feel like it has to be intentional at this point.
That, and then the controls are pretty garbage, as far as like you have to like link hands and you're like stuck in moving the guys around. I just feel like gameplay wise it was a lot of feel good frills and not like, I don't know, actually engaging gameplay.
Oh,
maybe, I don't know.
But like, to go back on my point, because like I thought this was pretty engaging. I'm not sure if you noticed, but one of the main draws, and I remember actually this was something they did advertise and it did live up to it, is that there is basically, you know, like every single game when you're in a world, there's like music in the background, just kind of some ambient noise, but each individual character has their own alterations on the background music, and when you stack characters, it actually like combines that, so you could kind of make your own your own beats, and like that's actually really cool. Like, I might go back and actually buy the soundtrack for this game, because there's a lot of cool stuff in here.
I guess for me, it's like I love sandbox game stuff like that if you're like building towards a goal. But I feel like all those things you're doing sandboxing in this game, like after you beat it and stuff like that, you're kind of just building towards like nothing. I want to say you're just kind of doing it just to do it. Like in Minecraft, you're building a house to build a house. In this, you're stacking like a trumpet and a fork to have different music. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's cute. I love this game. It just, I don't know. Maybe I'm not the type of person.
Well, I mean, like the fact that you beat this game, sure, it's a short game, but like that speaks volumes compared to some other games that we just like enjoy that we haven't beat. I will say, like, this is one of those games where I'm not sure if you've had this experience, but like I've had like friends over, or like I've been hanging out with people, and like one of us will be like, hey, we're bored, what do you want to play? And we just like go through all those weird games we've bought and like have fun with them for like 5-10 minutes. I feel like
this is totally that game.
Yeah, this is one of those games where like we're gonna like play this like once every like 6 months, or like I am gonna play this like once every 6 months and be like, oh, this is fun. And like it's just one of those experiences you're just gonna have over and over again.
I think it's worth every penny, to be honest. For $10.
For $10, I think it's worth every penny. I think even for $20, I laughed at this so much that I definitely think that it's worth $20. However, I could see $20 kind of being the upper ceiling of what this game is worth. I thought this game did look pretty cool, like when it was not broken. It has a cool art style. And it's nice to see.
The art style is wonderful. I love like the different like particle effects. Like even like the grass, you get like the mow option. Like towards the end, you get like the little mower. You like mowing the grass down. I don't know if you can do anything with that, but like the different effects, like the water effects, like everything about this game is extremely charming. So
it's extremely charming. It's just like extremely surface level. So it's one of those things where you're especially after post game, you're gonna have like 5-minute experiences max. The whole thing though is that I mean like this is basically Mother 4, right?
Yeah, dude. This is Mother 4. You're saving your mom.
Yeah, that's
Mommy 4.
Like there's a character that's named like Mother or something. I'm like, oh, that's a weird coincidence. We should probably beat Mother 3, both of us, huh? Probably.
We really should.
What my New Year's resolution, my gaming New Year's resolution is to beat all the games that like are beatable from last year's podcast, and Mother 3 is at the top of the list.
Like games that we want to play.
Yeah, I mean, not like
Giraffe Town.
Toki. Yeah, Toki. Well, I beat Toki because I'm kind of a badass.
Well, aren't you fucking cool?
Well, I beat it with save states, so I'm less cool. But well, we remember
beat
Toki is
Tembo.
like literally like, oh, if you die like 3 more times in the final level, you have to restart the game. I'm like, I'd rather.
I wouldn't mind
never
going
do
back
this.
to things like Cave Story, but it's like I would have to start from the beginning because I am very stupid and had the game on hard mode, 1 hit, 1 death, so it's like impossible to beat. So
I don't know. It's just one of those things where like Cave Story was built at a time where the attention economy wasn't really considered. So I beat Cave Story once, and I don't really feel like doing all that weird bullshit that's not explained to get to the correct ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you're a bitch.
What's your gamer resolution? Did you tell me?
I'm probably to finish. Like, I'm gonna try to finish as many games as possible that aren't like 40-hour games. If a game is like 8 hours, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to.
I feel like that's
a week.
boring because that's the one I did.
I don't know, like maybe not suck at games, I guess, or like I want to pick more like I picked too many AAA titles this year. I feel like I want to pick more like super fucking bad games because I think they're like funnier to talk about and stuff like that.
What Dana is trying to say is he wants this podcast to fail. He wants like the 3 people who are in the Trapped community to be like, oh shit, someone made a video on Trapped. When I'm going to be like...
that was your game that you picked, Trapped. Fuck you.
When I'm going to be like, oh, this week's game is Call of Duty Black Ops 4, man. We're playing this on release.
That's like straight up what I'm picking next week, actually.
Oh, God. I mean, Call of Duty Black Ops... there is a 4, right? I remember
know.
the last Call of Duty I played was Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare.
We're gonna have a death match in fucking Modern Warfare 2.
I mean, I would probably fucking destroy you because I'm the best at first-person shooters of all time. Actually, I'm Nade Shot. Welcome to the Nade Shot and Sphinctus podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick as fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm me, and I'm sorry I'm not Nade Shot.
Well, I'm really good at surfing. That's like my shit in like first-person shooter games.
You look like Leafy. You got that weak-ass chin.
Dude, I got like fucking 4 chins right now because I've been eating McDonald's and fucking rice every day.
That's hyper Leafy. There we go. That's all you need.
Speaking of needing, I'm gonna talk about some fucking actual news for once. We're always talking about like the CD Projekt Red shit with the fucking.
We're always talking about it like this game's been released for like the entire podcast.
Dude, like it's like the last like 5 weeks we've talked about Cyberpunk 2077 and fucking Twitch, but Cyberpunk, the team behind Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red, they're actually getting sued by their investors because of how they released the game and like how like the negative press is costing them money and stuff like that.
So they're okay. No, continue.
Okay. No. You
okay.
said
no,
okay.
I'll admit I didn't read this, and when I saw class action lawsuit, I assumed this was on the consumers for like having a shitty PS4 release. But no, you're saying the investors are the ones actually creating this lawsuit.
Correct. They're pissed.
Why are they pissed? Because they were lied to.
Because like they had to cancel. Like, it got removed from the PlayStation Store, like, all sorts of other fucking shit that caused them lots of revenue, which, I mean, that's a genuine concern. It's very upsetting that, they're the team behind Witcher 3, which is, like, a beloved game, which I've never played. Everyone says it's fucking amazing.
I've seen people play it, and it seems fun. It is crazy how easily a studio could fall. Like, it literally is one of those things where you have to have a batting average of near 100%.
Like if you come out with anything that's considered like good, If every game isn't that quality or less, or excuse me, or the same or higher, like everyone hates you. Like you're literally
it's
done.
pretty crazy considering like even in the movie space, like a director will have a bad movie, but like they generally seem more forgiving than video games. Maybe it's just due to the fact that like video games cost so much money and time to develop. It's just like the expectations are. I think it might be more due to the fact that like I feel like the process for creating games is more transparent than movies.
Yeah, well, that and it's fucking terrible. Like the amount of work they put these guys into.
Well, no, I feel like for the reason why people do crunch is because it actually produces results. Like I like, sadly, crunch is the reason why a lot of these games are so good, right?
Yeah, because they got to get it done and stuff like that.
Yeah. But like,
and I imagine they had to, like, their investors were like, "You need to fucking release this game, like that. You're contractually obligated to release this by Christmas, so we can get that sweet Christmas money." And that's probably why they're suing them.
Yeah, I definitely can see that being the case. I mean, like, I don't think like Cyberpunk is lacking on sales even after taking off the PS4 revenue. It's still one of the most popular games of all time.
So my understanding, it's not getting anywhere near projected. I could be wrong though.
I think, according to numbers, it was one of the most popular games, like in terms of sales of 2020, which I guess even if it wasn't entirely like meeting their projections, like that still probably could have been the case. But I wonder if that includes the refunds given. I feel like that's not really a common situation. So I could see these sites that like gameinfo.biz or whatever we were using last week had it projecting as like one of the top selling games. You got to trust those .biz domains.
Oh yeah, but even if something's a top selling game, like how many times like in the movie industry they're like, oh, this is going to be a top selling movie, but it doesn't hit their mark, you know, because of all the hype and buzz behind something, they can kind of anticipate it being towards something. And I feel like that's like an argument they can make in court because of them taking it down. Or they could say because of the quality, they didn't make as much money as they could have. That maybe that's a different argument.
Yeah, you hear those arguments in like the movie industry, like this game or this has to be literally the number 3 in the box office ever to actually make any profit. And it's like, oh, they do it because it's like some Avengers shit, but like absolutely crazy costs requiring absolutely crazy sales.
Absolutely. So they're actually down 21% sales forecasts.
Oof, that's less good than they want.
Yeah, so they were projected selling 19.2 million at launch and 31.4 million after a year. Now those forecasts see launches sales at 15.1 minus 4.1 million, and almost 21% at 2.5 million. No, excuse me, 25.4 million away from their 31 million. So I mean, that's like they're kind of pissed.
I guess I understand why investors are pissed because like investors don't actually like I feel like so many situations we see are like shareholders just trying to increase short-term profits and like they don't actually care about the well-being of the game. But like I wonder if Cyberpunk is going to be one of those games where like has a large uptick in sales, like not large uptick in sales over time. But
so
like,
in 7 months, it's going to be considered one of the best games of all time.
Yeah, and we've talked about that where like games have a play date versus a release date. But yeah, I feel like this game will probably have good sales like later in 2021. But at that point, it's not going to be a newer title. It's going to be selling at 50% off. I could see them just not making their.
I mean, to be honest, I could see us playing this in like July.
Yeah,
like, as like for the podcast or something like that.
We played Death Stranding when it got on PC. I mean, this is PC initially, but yeah, it's probably gonna be good. Like Death Stranding, maybe it has some glitches on PS4, but like that game was flawless.
Yeah, the game like felt so good to play.
Yeah, so I
wish I actually put that on like some of my favorite games for the year because I think that game is definitely like a game of the year contender.
We talked about it last week.
I think people aren't patient enough for it.
Donkey, should we call him out? I know he listens to the podcast.
Yeah, dude, I bet. Do you know who else listens to this podcast? Your mom.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a certain YouTuber that we're both not fans of because he's trying to get into small podcasting. Fuck Keemstar. What else is new? Literally anything else besides this.
Dogecoin. So it's funny, like with the whole cryptocurrency thing, we see Bitcoin ballooning up to like 33K. It was at like 26 before like a year ago, and then it crashed to nothing. And people were like, cryptos are over, and now it's at 33 fucking K. Dogecoin, you know, like the meme Doge, dog, whatever.
Popular in 2012.
Yeah, it has gone up like 125% in the past like month. It's almost at a cent. For example, it was at like, oh god, it was at like 2 cents like in November. So to see it go up this much, like people made a shit ton of fucking money off a fucking meme. It's the 25th largest, it's I think, 22nd largest crypto coin in the world.
Yeah, didn't they have
It's
like a
actually,
literal NASCAR car sponsored by Dogecoin?
Yeah. Like this is like a huge thing. Like because people would get like millions of Dogecoin for like nothing. So it's like people made a shit ton of money. It's all over Twitter right now. I think it's kind of cool.
Well, I remember I feel like we talked about this like privately that like I remember buying like $25 or like $50 of Dogecoin in like 2013 or 14 because I'm like, this is a funny meme, and like both of us just like losing our wallets.
Yeah, it's on like a hard drive that I can't access.
We
right
should
now.
be Dogecoin millionaires. We could be doing this podcast 40 hours a week, one episode every 3 days, just constantly gaming, constantly talking about gaming, constantly gaming, constantly talking about gaming, constantly gaming, constantly talking about gaming. But instead, we just have short-term memory loss. What's the deal with anything besides cryptocurrency? Because like I feel like whenever someone says like,
what the fuck,
whatever,
I was like, you were like, I got things.
I don't know, like I feel like everyone was just busy with like the holidays, but whenever like anyone like I've invested heavily in cryptocurrency because I saw the writing on the wall, but even then it's just like if someone tries to talk to me about cryptocurrency, my mind shuts down and I want to like literally do anything else, you know?
Well, because I know you had like other currencies. Did you get anything new, or like it's just like the same shit you had?
Goatsy coin.
Goatsy coin.
The logo is like the cropped part of Goatsy that everyone loves.
Like shaped like a coin?
Yeah, the circle part of Goatsy.
So now what?
Now what? I guess we could talk about Twitch a little bit.
What's going on with Twitch? Oh yeah, Twitch is shitting the bed the past couple of days.
Yeah. So from a viewer perspective and a streamer, really from anyone using the platform Twitch, their perspective is like, oh, this sucks, like especially because like a lot of people are on break and they just want to watch Twitch, and like Twitch has been absolutely I've never seen Twitch have as many issues in the past than like this past week, where like literally for hours at a time, multiple days of the last week, like Twitch has been straight up down, or like you're able to watch the stream with no other features being available on the website.
Yep.
But this is quite literally the absolute worst nightmare from a software development perspective of all time. Like, people are making speculation, oh, this is due to, like, them messing with, like, ad blocker stuff, and it's, like, coming back and biting them. I saw that on, like, Livestream Fail. This is not due to them doing anything, because no one... Companies entirely shut down around the holidays because they know that a lot of people are on vacation. They're not going to be able to like actually develop things and like fix things if necessary. But like B, just like a lot of these companies, especially like Amazon around Christmas time and like with returns and like purchases, like they don't want their websites having instability, so they don't release new features. This is just like, I guess, a server shitting the bed. Even then, you're having a lot of people like come back from vacation trying to fix this. This sounds like the worst nightmare from a software engineering perspective.
Oh, to like come back from work and it's like, hey, this is all getting fucked right now.
No, it's
How
like
are you gonna fix
it's not even coming back from work. It's like, oh, I'm literally on vacation in the Bahamas with. Oh, I hope not in the Bahamas with travel, etc. But like, it's like I am taking my vacation because I need to take my vacation legally from work. I'm a salaried employee by Amazon. Oh, I am literally on vacation at 3 a.m. trying to fix this goddamn server that's on fire. Holy shit. I feel bad for the employees, but it's...
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's like they should think, like, it's the holidays. Everyone's going to be home. What the fuck do you think they're going to do? They're going to be watching Twitch.
No, but the whole thing about Amazon is they have the literal largest server supply in the world due to the fact that they run the largest cloud computing organization. Twitch should not be having this issue. It really shouldn't. It's kind of sad.
That's actually really scary about how Amazon thinks about Twitch if this is happening then.
No, I think that honestly, like they're giving Twitch as much computing power as they need. They wouldn't spend multiple billions of dollars on a service and then like not starve them of resources, you know? At the same time, like it's... Things shit the bed. I don't know what happened. I can't speak to why there is a outage. They've had major outages before, not just Twitch, but Amazon. I'm recalling like PTSD from like an S3, which is like everything that's like stored on the cloud. Like think your Google Drive, but like for corporations. There was a massive outage like 2 or 3 years ago that like affected the entire internet like for a very long time.
God. That probably would have been very bad.
Yeah, but like these things happen on a larger scale. I'm just like thinking like, wow, this really, 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 really sucks from a person that works from Amazon's perspective, even more than like working for Amazon in general. If you don't know, like it's the most stressful software engineering like place to be, Amazon Web Services and anything working with servers at Amazon. Sounds shitty. And I feel bad for them, but kind of make your bed in that situation. I mean, Twitch is like facing a couple interesting things, specifically from the legislation standpoint. Like, this is something that I feel like no one's talking about. Maybe I'm making a big deal about this, but there is a anti-corruption law that was passed in the U.S., and I kind of didn't really reveal why I was bringing this up.
Was it Section 230 or whatever?
I forget the exact number, but there was a historic anti-corruption law passed in the U.S. that banned shell companies, and a part of this is that if you have a LLC or small company, which is like what a lot of these shell companies are based off of.
Everyone does, yeah.
One of the features that you could have there is like anonymity, depending on where you make it known. Like certain states require you have your name on the LLC, while others like allow you to kind of just pass the buck and say, "Oh, we're
Yes,
anonymous
they know who you are.
enterprises." But one of the big things that I see streamers do is they create an anonymous LLC for like all their streaming expenses, and I wonder if this is going to affect how streamers do business, because we'll see in the short term.
A lot of streamers have LLCs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And a lot of them have LLCs that are made anonymously, so they don't have to like literally dox themselves in order to accept donations from business
because
PayPal.
like once an LLC is public, then it's like anyone can kind of look that up and see like where their shit, you know?
I wonder who's running Forsen LLC. But no, maybe they'll have middlemen or something like that. But yeah, one of the reasons why as a streamer you get an LLC is because you're able to create a PayPal business account for pretty much everything. But if you like are just doing that illegitimately, like they try to verify your business's information, they'll just like freeze your account. And even if you have money in there, you just straight up won't be able to take it out. And like you actually see some streamers that like usually it doesn't happen to larger streamers because they actually take it more seriously. And if you're partner,
it usually happens. I feel like it happens usually with streamers that are like on the up and up, and they like don't know how to handle it, and then it's like, oh shit, everything's frozen.
Yeah, like, and I've seen people lose like hundreds or like even like low thousands of dollars just from like not having an LLC. But like, yeah, when you have an LLC, like it allows you to basically legitimize your contract work for Twitch. And I don't know, I personally think that a lot of streamers like, so this is maybe a controversial opinion, but I feel like streaming and the worry of doxing is probably overblown. I feel like streamers should definitely keep boundaries within themselves and the streamer. Or
I think
viewers.
it depends on how big you are. Like if someone like XQC or Forsen had their address public, they would absolutely be swatted within minutes.
I feel like it's not like, okay, this don't. As a viewer of this podcast, I assuming you are a responsible, intelligent human being and you're not going to go do this, but I feel like if you are a public figure, this information is relatively findable. And unless you're going through like multiple attorneys, like I feel like someone could get XQC's information.
Correct, but I'm talking about the average shithead who's just like not thinking, like that 12-year-old thinks they're memeing and they do something horrible without thinking about the consequences, because that kind of stuff happens all the time. It's preventing a lot of that. You know, it's a barrier of, because if someone like is smart enough to do something, they're going to do it. This is more preventing like the random incidents.
Yeah, it's definitely something where if someone really wanted to find out where you are, nothing is going to prevent them from doing that. Like people who are legitimately crazy are going to get there eventually. It's one of those, like I personally have seen a lot of people really worried about like information that they have on the internet that was like before they really cared about their privacy. And honestly, like in those situations, if someone really, really, really wanted to find out information for you, you can't really scrub those things, and it's kind of a shitty situation. But I mean, all that being said, like if you're a massive streamer, sure, but I don't think the difference of having your name on an LLC is gonna have that much of an effect. Like if you're already looking up someone's LLC, like you probably are more motivated than the average person who.
Well, but it's like the point I'm making is that just makes it significantly easier to find said information. Like searching someone's LLC is significantly easier than finding, like scrubbing some random forum, trying to find an email, then searching that email, looking up on a database, looking for, you know, like doing that kind of shit, you know, like.
True, but I feel like the average shithead's like 12 and doesn't really understand what an LLC is.
But I would feel like they would know how to search an LLC versus doing like any of the other like social engineering type stuff to get any other information.
Right. That's fair. But for the vast majority of streamers, so like the weird thing about Twitch is that there are streamers that like kind of came from a large audience in general, and like those are generally the people.
Yeah.
Like, okay, there are streamers that came from a large audience in another platform like YouTube. Like I feel like Crip is a good example of that. Like he was partnered like before he actually even streamed, and those are generally the people you see with large chats, or those who like get like, I'm trying to think like how many streamers grow organically from nothing to have like a chat like XQC or something like that. Usually they come from other platforms.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see that. Usually streamers who are on the up and up come up with like a community that they're very, very close to, and like they have like their own like mods that they speak to regularly.
Culture,
well, like even that, but it's like, oh, like your mods, you actually kind of know them, and like you chat with them regularly. While like someone like XQC, like I don't know how many mods he has, but like he probably doesn't speak to that many individuals in his community at the same level as like other streamers.
To be honest, I can actually attest to like a lot of those high end streamers. Like they actually do speak with their mod team and like know them like on a personal level. They have to, because the amount of effort those mods are putting in and stuff like that. Some of the even top end streamers, like I know Trainwreck, he even pays his mods. He's like, I want to get us in Discord. We're going to talk. Like I'm going to pay you. Like your full time job is going to be to mod my chat, because that's like what's most important. But you need to do your job type shit, you know?
No, but okay. Yeah, so okay, I'll admit, I'll concede on that. I didn't realize that because I don't watch that many larger streamers. But what I'm saying is, like, you see a lot of these people grow with organic communities that like are very personable, and sure, there are very, very deep, probably unhealthy unhealthy parasocial relationships that come of it. But like, I feel like in most of those situations, like the people care enough about the person that like they're, even if that information is out there, they wouldn't act on it. So like, I feel
dude, like that is, it depends on who you are, man. Like I watch Destiny and people are literally like dox him and like try to like get like, you know, please send on his like child, like shit, like crazy
but
shit.
That is
like
not the type of person I'm talking about here. I'm talking about,
I know.
I'm talking about the low level partner who has a fun community that they hang out with. Like I feel like when you especially get into controversial streaming about political debates, there are people who literally want you dead. Destiny is like the worst example of like really anything.
Like the all the way extreme edge of what this could be. I really think that when you start getting to like the bigger streamers, I feel like Crip probably doesn't have to worry about it as much other than like crazy parasocial relationships, because he's such, I don't want to say milquetoast, but he's not like he's not like overly offensive. Like he's a very enjoyable streamer to watch.
No, Crip is also one of those people where like, sure, he has like on red and like very small quote unquote celebrities in his chat, but like Crip also just like doesn't talk to people in his chat. Like he'll read like something every now and then, but like I don't feel like people who watch Crip think they have a relationship with Crip. They're watching Crip. While certain other streamers, they might feel like they have a legitimate like relationship with the streamer. And that's,
I think
that's what
this feels like it might be a
parasocial relationship.
It might be a worse problem with like streamers that have like, let's say like 200 viewers. That's where I think like you can have some like really scary like parasocial relationships, especially like some like the female streamers and stuff like that. I imagine they have to deal with like a lot of scary things.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the L on this one hardcore, saying this is not really a big deal, because maybe it's just my personal experiences with streaming leaking out. I would not be.
Wait, what are you taking the L on? We're just having a conversation.
I'm taking the L because every single conversation I have with you is a debate, and if I lose, I beat myself up over it. And like, I don't really consider you like a friend at all. I just consider you like a sparring opponent in the world of words. And
don't look at me in the eyes.
Okay, I won't.
Do you ever call out people? Like, let's say you're hanging out with people, and like you like the room you're hanging out is like right next to the bathroom. You hear them, they use the bathroom, but then they just walk out. You don't hear them wash their hands. Do you ever say something to them?
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, especially during COVID.
I'm proud of you.
It's like that Todd and Aaron thing from this year. It's like new technology I've never had to use before. Soap. Yeah, they're very good at what they do. No, guys, Dana is my friend. I mean, if we want to get political debate, I mean, like the other thing that may actually impact streaming kinda is the whole COVID relief bill being stalled.
Yeah.
One of the things in there was that DMCA provision, which honestly, I'm just gonna straight out say it. I overreacted. The entire internet overreacted. I still got Reddit karma, so I'm okay. I'll make it out on top. But looking more and more into that, once people actually saw the bill, it's pretty obvious that it's aimed towards sites that illegally stream movies and other like blatantly illegal acts. Well,
yeah, like when you search like movies, like X movie
1, 2,
streaming
3,
Reddit.
put locker.
I am more interested how this affects like anime streaming websites, because everyone's using like these illegitimate anime streaming websites.
The thing is,
like
are
that.
they anymore? I'm definitely not a like avid anime watcher now. I used to be, and like that was really the only way to watch certain shows.
Definitely still am, and a lot of people still definitely.
No, a lot of people definitely still do, but like Crunchyroll did not exist in 2008. You really, if you wanted to watch your show, you had to watch it on kissanime. Whatever.
Yeah, but now the Kiss Anime is still there, and there are other websites that have things that Crunchyroll doesn't have, and they have them in 1080p.
They have that sick
versus
shit on Kiss Anime as a the stuff that
well, the thing
Crunchyroll
is-
couldn't air for legal reasons.
So the problem is that you have to buy Crunchyroll Premium. You can't just buy the regular Crunchyroll to get like 1080p. Versus all these websites have 1080p for free.
I don't know. Like if you're making a product and you have teams working on it, like you should expect people to pay for it. Like I definitely think that it's stupid that like all these websites like HBO Max, Netflix, etc., they're all breaking up. It's basically becoming cable again. But like I'm not saying at the basis they don't deserve to
Here's
ask
my
for
thing.
money.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna ask. This is my take on this thing. Is I have no problem paying for things, but if I have to pay for 7 different websites, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna start pirating again.
True. I agree with that. I feel like anime only has one though, and it's Crunchyroll. Maybe that's a good bit. Maybe we should go into like. Maybe we should get like the rights to all like that weird ass anime that like Crunchyroll refuses to air for like reputation reasons, like Icon,
like Bible Black or like Boku no Pico.
Bible Black. We'll go into like Netflix, like produce our own original content, like what's Bible Brown? Let's not go.
Okay,
Brown
that
is terrible. I was just thinking of a different color. I wasn't even thinking of that. Oh no!
Oh no!
Jesus! Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you liked it a lot, make sure to rate us 5 stars on iTunes and subscribe on whatever podcast app you use. Here's Dana with a ditty.
Diddy, diddy, diddy. Look at my titty. Give us 5 stars so we can go fars.
That and more if you continue to support. When's Mortal Kombat come out? April. What?